So in this video, we'll try to explore more about this stuff here. So you can see this calc and the round brackets. Now if you can observe closely, this name is same as the class name, right? And it has the round brackets. And whenever you use a round bracket, it simply means a method, right? So it looks like a method, but it has the same name as the class name. So that is weird, right? So this thing here, it is called as constructor. So whenever you create an object, by saying new calc, that calc and bracket is a constructor. And constructor is a very important thing when you are creating the object. Now how that works? So just to define that, let me remove this method which is perform. Let me just clean the code a bit for you. Let me remove all this stuff. So what we have these three variables here, and now this int result is only for the fetching the output, right? Let me remove this. So this is your constructor. Now how do we define a constructor? So we have to say calc obj equal to new calc. So when you say this calc, it will call the constructor. But hold on, it is calling a constructor and we don't have the constructor in our class. How it is doing that? So what happens is Java says, okay, see, we know that whenever you create an object, you have to call a constructor. Then why you need to create a constructor? I will give it for you. So by default, Java gives you the constructor for calc. The constructor which Java gives you only does one thing. It allocates the memory. That's it, nothing else. So the constructor which is given by in Java world, it is only for allocating the memory. What I want is, I want a constructor who will assign the value. So let's say I want to assign the initial value of num1 and num2 as 5 and 5. Both the values should be 5. Because by default the value is 0, right? Example, if I try to print the value of num1, if I say system.out.println obj.num1, if I try to print that, the output it is giving me is 0, right? I don't want 0, I want the default value to be 5. So what you can do is you can define the constructor by yourself. So you can say public calc, that's how you can define your own constructor. Now points to remember, a constructor has the same name as class name, that's very important. Second, constructor never returns anything, and that's why you cannot write a return type there. You can't specify int, you can't specify float. Even if you specify that, it will not give you error, but it will not be a constructor now. So if you want to have that feature of constructor, we should not write any return type there. So point to remember, constructor name should be same as class name, and second, it doesn't return any value. The third point is, we don't have to call the constructor. It will be called automatically when the object is created. So as soon as you say new calc, it will create the object for you, plus it will also call the constructor. So these are three important points for the constructor. First one, constructor need to have the same name as class name. Second, constructor doesn't return any value. Third, whenever you create the object, constructor will be called automatically. So what I will do in this constructor is I want to say num1 equal to, let's say 5. And for both the variables, in fact, for num1 and plus num2, num2 also I want to assign the value which is 5. And now if you can run this code, you can see we are getting the output as 5. So the value of num1 is 5. It's because when you call the constructor here, it is getting called and it is assigning the value of 5 to num1, and we are printing the value here. It is that simple. We can also print some statements here. Let me say in constructor. So you can see we don't have to call the constructor, it will be getting called automatically. So if I run this code now, you can see we got the output as in constructor, and then we are printing the value as 5. So it will first call the constructor, then it will print the value. So that is how you create a constructor. We have some more things with the constructor. In fact, we can create a constructor. We can have two constructors in the same class. Example, we can say public calc. So we can have two constructors in the same class provided they have a different signature. So you can see it is giving you error now because you cannot have two constructors here, with the same signature. We have to change the signature. Now when you say change signature, does that mean change the name? That will not work, right? If you change the constructor name, then it's no more constructor, because constructor should have the same name as class name. But you can change the parameters here. So you can say n. So you can see we have two constructors, one which is not taking any parameter and second which is taking the parameter. So now we have two constructors with different signature. You can say one is without parameters and one is with parameter. Now what we can do is we can say num1 equal to n and even num2 is equal to n. So instead of assigning a value 5, so you can see instead of assigning a value 5, we can pass any value here. We can pass 7. Now that value 7 will be assigned to n. Now since so while creating the object, if you pass a value, it will call that particular constructor which takes a int value, and it will assign that n value to num1 and num2. And now if you run this code, you can see we're getting the output as 7, not 5. That's how you can pass the value. But let's say I don't want to pass an int value, I want to pass 7.5. How that works? Now when you are passing 7.5, of course you cannot accept that in int, right? And that's why it is giving you error. So we have to create one more constructor, which is public calc, which takes a double value, which is double d. Again, we can go for any variable name, doesn't matter. And we can say num1 equal to, but again num1 is an integer, right? We can again cast it, right? We can cast the value of double. The important thing is not the value assigning, the important thing is you can pass any parameter. So if you're passing specific parameter like 7.5, which is double, you have to accept that with double. When you're passing a string, you can accept using string. That is how you create a constructor. We can have multiple constructors, but make sure that every constructor have a different signature. If you run this code now, you can see we are getting the value as 7 only because we are passing 7.5. Let's say if I pass 9.5 and if I run this code, it will get casted and you will get only 9. In fact, we can also pass two parameters. So we have the first one as double, second is int. So we can assign the int value to num2, and for that we have to pass two values now. One is 9.5 and let's say we are passing 8 also. So if you are passing multiple values, you have to accept multiple values. It's just that you have to match the signature. So the number of variables you are passing here, you just have to match the signature here. So we can have multiple constructors with different signatures. So this one is called default constructor because it doesn't have any parameter. Now why is called default? Because even if you don't mention this constructor, I mean if you don't have any constructor, by default your system will give you one constructor. That's what is called as default constructor. And the other constructors are called as parameterized constructor. Again, we'll talk about constructor more when we move towards inheritance concept. But time being, this is what you have to remember about constructors. So that's it about constructors in this video. See you in the next video.